Hi, welcome to Whitey White Guy Show. I'm Whitey, and today I'm going to talk about a little bit of the drama going on with He-Man, which I guess is on Netflix. I haven't been following any of this. I don't care. But everybody's talking about it, so I'm going to chime in a little bit. Apparently, Kevin Smith was brought on to be the showrunner for new He-Man. I believe it's cartoon. I don't even know if it's cartoon or a movie or what. But apparently, they killed off He-Man in the first episode, and things are focusing on Teela. And I can first off, if you should be anything, it's not surprised, because that's just what's going on in Hollywood. Everything is kill off a straight white male, have diversity. Diversity is everything in Hollywood right now. It is what it is. And so it's like, are you surprised? And of course, with Kevin Smith, it can kind of go both ways, because in his earlier work, he was pretty counterculture. And that he was crass and crude in his writing, and the first film he ever made, Clerks, ends with a lady having sex with a dead guy. I mean, that's very counter to what things were in the early '90s. You didn't see that movie, and that was kind of the charm of Kevin Smith. There was stuff in his films you didn't see. How's that? Quite down, that you didn't see in movies at the time. At the same time, he's always been a pretty liberal guy, and Chasing Amy was about Ben Affleck with the lesbian, and it was pro. He's been pro homosexual. Dwight Ewell is a gay black man who was in that movie. He's never been like staunch conservative in his filmmaking or anything. So when he gets his hands on this thing, you should expect a liberal slant to how things are done. That's Kevin Smith. That's who he's always been. You'd expect some dick and fart jokes, but you're not going to be surprised that it has a liberal theme where it's all about the female characters. That's Chasing Amy. Mallrats was about a bunch of dudes running around having fun. So it kind of goes both ways, but that's been his career. So, he hasn't had, every single film he makes has its own feel to it. So, but it's generally speaking, what's his political philosophy? He's a liberal. He's got a liberal philosophy. What's the thing in liberalism right now? Females and trans, ladies and trans. Strong female characters, female empowerment. Kevin's not going to break from that. He's not going to. So, there's that. And there's this guy who's like, pay attention to me now, not the phone, you jackass. But, at the same time, it is called He-Man. That's a thing. It's a dude. It's about it's a show called He-Man because it's about a guy named He-Man. He-Man. And so that is frustrating to me, because what's happening here is that the communists are saying, let's take everything ever, every TV show ever made. It's a matter of time until you make Killer Clowns from outer space. I'm sure it's in production. And just like if it made $50, it's all about remakes and prequels and sequels, and god damn is that annoying. Nobody's allowed to write something original. So, but what they're doing is they're taking this stuff that we all grew up on, us old timers, and it's like, Ghostbusters. It's like the movie's called Ghostbusters, but it isn't the Ghostbusters. It's for other people who are going to steal the concept and say that it's them now. So Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and, Harold Ramis and not anymore. Now it's these people. The thing that was something else, we're just going to take it and say it's ours now. Even though we had nothing to do with the creation of it, nothing to do with the success of it. We weren't fans of it at the time. But that thing that somebody else created and made really cool, we're going to take it now and shit all over it. And make it a completely different story And, the characters will have the same names, but none, it'll be He-Man and Eternia and there's Skeletor, but it's like a completely different story, I imagine. That's everything now. So, you had this thing, it was really cool, so we're going to take it. That's what's going on, and make it for us, as opposed to making our own thing. That's my umbrage. It's like, okay, if you want to tell a story about women empowerment and stuff, great. Create characters, create a world, create a story, and make that movie. And God bless, and good for you. That's capitalism. You made a thing, see if you can make a buck. Instead, we're going communism, where we don't want to put in the work of making a thing. We don't want to create characters in a world and make it. God, we can't write. We don't know how to make movies or tell stories or be original. Jesus Lord, that is a tall order. You bite me again, you're getting the shotgun in the mouth. Do you know that? I will fucking kill you. What's wrong with your ears, dude? And if you got a problem with your ears, let me look at them so I can fix it. They're not going to create their own thing. They're going to take your thing and then put their idea into your thing because they don't know how to make things and be successful. That's communism. It does one thing and one thing only. It fails. That's it. That's the list. And so they're going to take something that was cool and enjoyable and fun and then put their communist idea into your thing and destroy it. That's what communism does. Shouldn't be shocked. And so Kevin Smith sold out. And now he's in it for the dollars. That shouldn't be shocking. Have you seen his last several films? Neither have I. Ever since Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, what was it about? It was about women. So instead of Clerks, two guys at work, mall rats, a bunch of guys hanging out at the mall, chasing Amy, a bunch of guys have to deal with lesbians. What was the Dogma? A bunch of guys save the world. But there too, you got a female lead and she's the last offspring of Christ and she's got to save the world. But it was a bunch of dudes hanging out. So, you had women in the stories, but it was following dudes and it was kind of dude-centric. Or at best a bit balanced. Once they got the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, it was like women's. It just had a different feel to it, didn't it? Because Kevin Smith got married and he wanted to make things about his wife and get her involved. And it's what happens. Once the ladies get involved, everything becomes about them. And that's where Kevin Smith is at. Then he put his daughter in the films. And so instead of it being about Jason Lee and that, was it Kyle London something? Running around the mall, now it's what are the ladies up to? So you shouldn't be shocked that he's going to take He-Man and make it about the ladies. What's his career been for the last 10 years, 15 years? Making it about the ladies. Who cares about the dudes broing it out? It's all about what the vaginas want. So, communism's going to do what communism does. And Kevin Smith's a communist who makes a lot of money through private companies. So you explain that one to me, but it's a shit show, and that's what to expect. So what do? Stop watching the communist movies and TV shows and Netflix. And as Kevin Smith said on a podcast, he's like, you got 10,000 down likes, and you got 10,000 people saying they hate your thing, but you've got 2.1 million subscribers to, or 210 million, subscribers to Netflix. So who cares what the original He-Man theme people thought? They're dying of diabetes and heart disease. They're old and let them die. It's all about the women's now. What's curious to me is, okay, is it any good? And but I don't give a shit. So I'm gonna go find out what's wrong with my cat's ears, because it's got to be something. And I wish you a good day. Cheers.